Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, we're starting Exodus. I get things all mixed up here. Exodus 21. We're done with the Ten Commandments. You can see that the Ten Commandments are gone here. But there is still a whole lot of laws that God gave. And these laws were given to the people. And you remember that there was judges assigned. And these judges, this came about after Moses had a talk with his father-in-law, and his father-in-law said, hey, man, you're taking on too much responsibility here. You need to have judges to help you. So that's what happened. They have judges. And so these laws are given to help guide those judges, because there's going to be different variations. But some of the stuff is cut and dried. And so when the people heard this, they'd be like, we don't even have to go to a judge because this is what it says. It's pretty clear. But there would still be instances where the judges would have to judge that. So today we're going to be going through Exodus 21 in two sessions here. Today we're talking about the servant, a picture of Jesus. This whole section today is dealing with servants, okay? And don't tune out because you go, I don't have any slaves, and I'm not a slave. Don't tune out because this actually applies to you. And then tomorrow we're talking about taking responsibility, where we finish up the rest of the chapter. So let's turn in our Bibles here to Exodus 21, verses 1 through 11. All right, so this says, these are the laws you are to set before them. Who is them? If you read earlier on, God is giving these laws to the people, okay? So these are the laws you're to set before the people. Verse 2, if you buy a Hebrew servant, he is to serve you for 6 years. But in the 7th year, he shall go free without paying anything. If he comes alone, he is to go free alone. But if he has a wife when he comes, she is to go with him. If his master gives him a wife and she bears him a son or daughters, the woman and her children shall belong to her master, and only the man shall go free. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. So what happened here is, it was great if you ever became a servant, and this could be like you owed a debt or whatever. And this is Hebrew servants. This is not servants taken in a battle and stuff that they were not Hebrews. These are Hebrew people. And God had no intention of enslaving the Hebrew people because he took them out of slavery, so he sure didn't want them to go back into slavery. But there was times where they kind of sold themselves into slavery to each other. But he said that will only last 6 years. Okay, no more than that. Don't take someone and make them your slave for life. And so that was a huge thing that God did. And two, the thing was, the way you came is the way you departed. So if you came as yourself as a slave, or you had your wife with you, then you left with you and your wife, or just you yourself. But if during the time you were a slave, your master got you a wife and you had children and stuff, well, then those things are the master's. All right, let's keep reading here. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and the children, and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door of the doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be his servant for life. Okay? So back in that day, if you were a Hebrew and you had your ear pierced, it was a good chance you were a slave here. So he would take it, and an awl is a sharp thing. I didn't bring an awl with me, but like an ice pick. And you would take that and put it on the doorpost, which is wood, and pound it through to pierce that ear. Verse 7, if a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as a male servant does. And if she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners because he has broken faith with her. If he selects her for his son, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. If he does not provide for her with these three things, she is to go free without any payment of money. So it concludes here by dealing with if a woman is made a slave, basically to become a wife, she has the rights to everything that a wife should have. Okay, so you didn't have a slave wife, but anyway. But what I wanted to point out today was this servant here. When the servant came and he said, "Hey, I want to stay with my master, and I want to get my ear pierced to signify that." That is a picture of Jesus. Okay. If you turn in your Bibles now to Hebrews 10:5 through 10, and actually this section of Hebrews 10:5 through 10 is actually quoting Psalm 40 verses 6 through 8. So there's two scriptures, and I have those listed down on the show notes on YouTube. So let me read here Hebrews 10 verses 5 through 10, and the first three verses here are actually from Psalms too. I'll quote from Psalms. It says, "Therefore, when Christ came into the world, he said, 'Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but a body you prepared for me. With burnt offerings and sin offerings you were not pleased. Then I said, Here am I. It is written about me in the scroll. I have come to do your will, my God.'" So God, he's saying here, this is Psalms here. He's saying, you weren't pleased with the just obeying the rules and everything. And I said, here's my body. Okay? Just like the servant said, "Hey, here I am. I'm your servant here. I'll go ahead and pierce my ear." Let me keep reading. Verse 8. "First he said, 'Sacrifices and offerings and burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not desire, nor were you pleased with them, though they were offered in accordance with the law.' Then he said, 'Here am I have come to do your will.' He sets aside the first to establish the second." He sets aside the law to establish his servanthood. Verse 10, "And by that will we have been made holy through the sacrifice of the body of Jesus Christ once and for all." Okay? So Jesus, he took that upon himself. He chose to become a servant of our sin. Okay, he chose, and it was like he said, "Hey, pierce me," which he actually did get pierced with a sword put through him, and pierced with the nails put through his hands and feet. So he was pierced in that way, but he was taking on our sin. So he was taking our place. I deserved to be that slave. And so he was becoming a servant of our sin. And so that's what this is all a picture of. It's all, again, pointing to Jesus. Jesus could have walked away and go, "No, not interested. I don't want to do that." And he had the ability, just like this servant has the ability to walk away and go, "I'm free. 6 years I served. See you later. Bye-bye." And Jesus had that same opportunity, but he did not. He said, "Here am I, send me. And here, I'm here." And so he was pierced, you might say, with the nails and the sword gone through him. So anyway, it's a great picture of Jesus. It's amazing when you read through the Bible here, all the things that you think, oh, this doesn't have anything to do with me, how it points to Jesus. Thanks for watching. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Exodus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.